Welcome to Impact Tech Studio podcasts, where we spotlight founders building solutions grounded in real world impact. Today, we're joined by Amol Bansal, founder of MyGold and a third generation jeweler with over 30 years inside India's real gold economy. From households and traditions to lockers and lived financial needs, Amol has seen one truth repeat itself. India doesn't lack gold, it lacks gold productivity. In this episode, he shares how MyGold is transforming idle household gold into a safe, transparent, income generating asset without breaking trust or tradition. To know what differentiates him, let's dive in. Hello, Amolji.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good, sir. Hi.
Yeah.
Hi. Pleasure to have you on the podcast. So, I am Arjun. I represent Impactex Media and Ideas Hacks Ventures. So, we are into two sides of things. We are majorly into co working spaces, it started as, and then we started becoming a startup ecosystem. Now, we help people to get invested into pre seed and seed investment. And also on top of it, we have a media platform, which is this ImpactX Media, where we get founders like you who are creating something disruptive. There is some opportunity of aligning with a mega trend. And that is where we thought that you should be on the podcast. So welcome, Amolji. Give us an introduction of My Gold. This is a digital gold product which he wants to put details on. So, for my audience, digital gold could be in all forms of gold ETFs or a platform which actually organizes a number of jewelers to get into structured approach. So, I don't want to put too much into the game. Let Amol Bansalji talk about his company, My Gold, and what motivated him to go into this direction and what is the history of this. So please tell me.
Firstly, thank you, Arjun, for such a nice intro. Thank you for having me.
Yes.
I am Amol Bansal.
Right.
I'm a jeweler by legacy.
Amazing.
But today I am building something that I believe India urgently needs.
Right.
Right? For 30 years, I have worked inside the real gold economy.
Right.
Families, weddings, locker emotions, traditions. And I kept seeing one very silent truth.
Right.
That India is rich in gold, undoubtedly,
Correct.
but we are very poor in gold productivity.
Right.
We hold almost 25,000 tons of household gold,
Right.
and most of it lies idle.
Right.
It doesn't create income, it doesn't create economic movement, it just sleeps.
Right. Right.
So, my gold was born with a very simple belief:
Mm.
gold should remain safe, like tradition demands, but should also become productive, like modern finance requires. Right? So, I am an avid fan of Warren Buffett, and I always believed when he said that gold is the most dormant of all investments. So, this is where I want to prove him wrong, and we built my gold, a first ecosystem that can make gold a passive income generating
Asset.
asset.
Right.
We are building India's first
Right.
structured gold leasing ecosystem where people can participate in gold growth
Right.
without fear, without complexity, and with institutional grade safeguards, custody, compliance, traceability, and redemption discipline.
Okay.
So this isn't about replacing culture. My gold is not here to say that your traditions are wrong or the way you invest in gold is wrong. We are not here to replace that.
Right.
We are just here to upgrade it.
Right.
Because if India learns to mobilize gold ethically and transparently, it can change how household wealth behaves, industry capital efficiency works, and even macro outcomes for things like gold imports over time. So that is the mission out of which we are working at MyGold, and I'm very excited to share the journey with you.
So amazing. So this is such a surprise. So what an amazing thought where you are actually trying to mobilize the gold that is held by households. Now that is a positioning that I want to see. What is the details of this? So please give us some details of what is the product and what is your offering for the digitizing of household holdings of gold. So please tell us some details.
So, see, as of today, there are only few things that the gold does for you. Most of the gold is either kept in household lockers or they're kept in bank lockers, right? So I'll give you an example. It's a weekend and just happened very lately with one of our customers, It was a weekend, it was a long weekend and the banks were closed.
Right.
But forbidding, he had a very major medical emergency for which he needed cash, right? Now, he wanted cash to give to the bank, which he did not have. To be very honest, he did not have. Because every bank now demands, all the medical sources now demand that you either gave them a credit card or, you pay them outright through a valid bank instrument.
Right.
So he did not have that at that point of time in the middle of the night. And he was very desperate and he called me up and he said, Sir, मैंने तो gold भी आपके पास रखा दिया, अब मैं क्या करूं? So it was a very simple request and I told him, आपके लिए तो और आसान है. All you need to do is press a button and the amount will get reflected into your bank account immediately.
Okay.
Right? So he was able to use that gold to his benefit, which would have been locked in a bank locker, right, on a long weekend. And he was so thankful that post a week, 10 days, he came back again and said, Sir, thank you so much. This much of gold was also lying in my bank locker. I would like you to, keep it on lease.
Right. Right. So tell me the financials of this. So for example, what is the ticket size and kind of what is the kind of gold holding per household that you're holding? Then how much of the leasing is, what is the commercialization of leasing? What is the maths behind it? How much are you leasing for? Yes.
So think of us like whatever a normal bank does with your paper currency, right?
Correct.
It takes your gold, a saving account. Think of a saving account, right? It takes money and it gives it to the businesses who require money. The differences, the delta is what the bank earns, right?
Right.
Similarly, we are taking gold on a bailment contract of leasing, where we are giving a return of up to 5%, right?
Yeah.
This gold is utilized in the gold industry for gold industry needs. So see, there's a huge paradox, Arjun.
Right.
I have almost 25,000 tons of gold in India,
Right.
and we import every year, we import 800 to 900 tons of gold.
Right.
A major impact on CAD, current account deficit, is because of this import, which the government has been trying to find an answer for generations, and they have not figured it out. So what we are telling them is allow the gold to be passive income. Once this happens, the requirement of the jeweler will be fed from this gold that is collected. We are able to give this gold to the industry at X plus 1%, X plus 0.575%. And that is how the generation of income works between the user and the industry and for MyGold.
Okay. So when you see the ecosystem of this gold holding, so basically, if in the layman terms, what you're doing is household is giving you gold on lease. You are basically, it's like putting gold into a savings account. You give them an interest every month or annually, however you give it. And after that, you also, if sometimes you want to, so it helps in the cash situation also. So it helps in the uh, deterrence of.
So basically, you can
risk
think
of-
of this. It is gold in your phone.
Right.
Rather than keeping gold in your lockers,
Right.
rather than keeping them in at homes, which is unsafe, you keep them on your phone, and you have 24/7 access to the gold. Whether you want it physically, you can ask for your gold back. We deliver it to your home's doorstep, or into your bank accounts if you want money. So every minute, every second of the day, you have a total ownership of the gold, plus 24/7 control of the gold
Right.
as well.
Right. And you have liquidity that you can promise them because of the gold being with you, right? Yeah. So
Yes.
that's liquidity is something that is obviously very well aligned with families who don't know what to do with the gold, because obviously most of looking at the data of India, so you must be having some understanding from the database that you have or some research that you might have done. How much percentage of households have gold locked into lockers of a bank?
So as I told you, so now think of this.
Hmm.
25,000 tons means you have 25,000 kgs of gold,
Right, right, right,
right?
right,
So what you are saying is in India, almost 90% people of India own gold
right,
in smallest of maybe 1 gram
right,
to 1 kg,
right,
but it is there. Everybody holds gold. And for them, the meaning of that gold is very different. It might be, like languages change. And similarly, the usage of that gold changes in India
correct,
from kilometer to kilometer. Right?
correct.
So it is how people look at their gold and how that gold behaves for them over long time.
Right, right. So looking at your product, so what is the scale of your product right now? How much of are you an app-based product? Are you an online based product as a consumer interface? And how many users do you have on your app? So give us some data of your product and how many customers are you dealing with currently? And is it a national product or is it just the in a region right now and then you have some vision about it?
So MyGold is a pan-India product,
Right,
right?
right,
It is a B2C and a B2B product.
right,
It is a it is a combo of infrastructure. It's an infrastructure that we call. So we do not call it like a app or a dashboard. It is an infrastructure on which is facilitating the user of the gold, the retail user of the gold, the corporate houses, the PMS houses, the HNIs, temples, as well as the B2B demand side, which is the industry, right? So it's a
right,
combination of lot of tech, techno infrastructure, right? So for the user, anything and everything that he wants to do with his gold,
mm,
he wants to buy digital gold, he wants to sell his gold, he wants to do it transparently, he wants to, put his gold on bailment, he wants to sell his digital gold, he
mm,
wants to buy something, he wants to buy coins, he wants to exchange it for jewelry. Everything we that power belongs to the user through the MyGold app, right?
right,
Now, once that gold is collected,
right,
we give the power to the industry to monitor this gold
right,
by asking for it, right?
mm,
So that becomes your B2B merchant interface,
mm, mm,
right? Again, for the temples, we have a different interface which is called Swarna Mandir Abhiyan. So
okay,
under Swarna Mandir Abhiyan, we are trying to build the infrastructure for the temples to take donations digitally in gold.
right, right,
There are lot of layers that we have developed to make it an infrastructure development. As
mm,
of the last 8 months, we have completed our POC through one collection center in Lucknow because we wanted to make sure that we acquire the supply as well as balance the demand and see how much it is working for us.
mm,
As of today, we are very proud to say that the industry has really recognized the need for this gold bailment. We
mm,
have almost 100% of gold already, 80% of the gold that we have acquired
mm,
uh, already leased to the industry. So
mm,
that whole POC is completed, right? The monthly rentals have also already started coming in. We
mm.
have already started paying out the users. So the whole system has been proven. Now is the time where we are at an inflection point where we need to make sure that we take it to pan India on a massive level.
So let me know your value chain challenges that you are facing both sides right now. Currently, you must have dealt with the POC. So from looking at the near future, because you might be now executing that POC across to other regions, and you might be executing it at a little bit of a more bigger scale, and then moving to the next one, next level. So, what are the challenges that you are plugging, and what are the kind of new things that you're observing about this POC? So, give me some results of that POC from the challenges that you see might arise because of this solution of yours.
So, Arjun, the good point is that during our POCs, right, during the last 8 months, we were very quick to pivot at the right points. We
Right.
took the learnings, we pivoted, and we understood the industry. We understood the demands of the industry, tried to balance it to the demand of the customer. Today, we understand that we are at a stage where the back end, the integrations, the complexities of agreements, the complexities of the ecosystem is well balanced.
Hmm.
So there is nothing as such that we really need to figure out now. What we really need to do now is scale it on the supply side. There is a huge demand in the industry. We have
Right.
been recognized by one of the major associations of India, which is India Bullions and Jewelers Association,
Right.
as their gold leasing partner, as the need of the industry at this hour.
Right.
And we have a huge demand book of almost 500 kgs for the next 2 months,
Amazing.
right? So the demand is
Right.
now we have to make sure that we can furnish the supply. So what
Right.
needs to be built and what's the challenge is now to educate Indians as
Right.
to not keep their gold idle, but mobilize it by making it passive. So that is the challenge that we now, we are at the stage where we are trying to address.
Right. So coming back to the same point that you earlier also talked, to get some more light onto it. So me being a customer, I have around, for example, I'll just give you a ballpark assumption that I might have 100 kgs of gold, right, or something like that, a
Right.
number, right? Now I am a regular household, right? Now at that regular household level, what is your pitch to me?
So what we are telling you is, see, for you,
Right.
this 100 kgs is lying in the bank locker,
Right.
right? It is doing nothing for you,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
So, yes, the ownership still remains yours. It is still yours. The value that you're getting from this idle investment is there, right?
Hmm.
But there is no growth on the passive side of this being kept in lockers. The locker is not giving you anything.
Correct.
10 years, if this 100 kgs of gold is kept in lockers, it will stay 100 kgs,
Hmm.
right? But if you give this 100 kgs to me,
Right.
I provide you insurance, I provide you contractual agreements, I
Right.
provide you a stamp agreement, plus I give you a return of 3.5 kg every year.
Right.
So your growth in the weight of the gold is 3.5 kg every year. Now look at this in this form, Arjun,
Hmm.
that it is not, I'm not saying 3.5% of the gold value.
Right.
It is 3.5% in gold weight.
Gold weight in actual
So
weight. Yeah.
anybody who gave me gold a year back
Hmm.
at 60,000 rupees,
Right.
he will get 3.5 kg or the 100 kg at 1,50,000 valued.
Right. Right. Obviously, because value is separate. You're
100
talking
kgs
about
has remained this.
yes. Right.
So the growth is much more, you
Hmm.
know,
Hmm.
it is better than any other investment instrument today.
Correct, correct. And the security of gold is something that generally households are concerned about, because they don't have that understanding of uh, how is, for example, my gold better than a bank locker in terms of security. So for that, you have told me one part of that is you're giving us insurance documents, right? So you're giving an insurance on it,
So
right?
yes, MyGold is the first comprehensively insured company. So we are taking from the point your gold enters my ecosystem to the point it gets back into your hand.
Right.
Whole gold ecosystem is insured for any fidelity, for any losses.
Right.
It has been insured for all of that.
Right, right, right. So in your industry, you might be having other players in the same ecosystem delivering similar services, right? There must be some competitors in your game as well, or what is the
So
first percentage if
that
you?
is something that is the beauty of this, Arjun.
Yes.
I don't have any competitor as of today.
Amazing,
None.
amazing, amazing, amazing,
Yes.
amazing.
So we
So
have understood this industry very well. I have studied this industry since COVID. So I've spent my last 4 years understanding what I'm trying to build, the need of the industry, the need of the user. I must have interviewed not less than 1 lakh customers. I'm
amazing.
trying to understand their philosophy, their psychology behind their gold keeping, and have developed the product keeping in mind that psychology of the user as well as the industry, the sensitivity of the industry.
Right. So going back to one more question, which is a very different question. So see, we gave you a framework of questions that we were supposed to ask you, right? But
Yeah.
in the end, this whole podcast tends to always we keep it very light and moving towards all the questions answered in a very generic conversational kind of a way. Because in the end, everyone values when it is a conversation between two people at a level, right? So. Looking at this, so you're saying there is no competition to your product. Looking at the audience that I have, so my audience will be HNIs and they will be private equity funds uh, uh, and there will be startups which are in the funding cycles from the tech side as well as from the impact side. Your startup, if I say, if I want to look at your product, what are the barriers to entry to make such a product and replicate it in the market?
Okay, a very, very interesting question. You see, so when you talk about barriers, right? The major barrier, as I told you, I have spent last 30 years in this industry,
Right,
right?
right.
Number one, the biggest barrier is
Hmm,
how much you understand
hmm,
the psychology of a user,
right,
of a customer who owns that gold, which is most dear to him.
right,
Because 90% of times when I tell people, when I talk to people who don't understand it, they say, यार सोना तो कोई देगा ही नहीं.
right,
अगर कोई देगा नहीं Arjun, then how was I able to collect 13 to 14 kgs of gold from retail users
right,
without any advertising,
right, right,
right? Just by speaking to them. Right.
right.
So that is where the understanding of the user and the customer psychology comes in, right?
Hmm,
Second most important thing is understanding the requirement of the India gold industry. That is most important,
yes.
right? So having my experience within the industry
Hmm,
for the last 30 years, it has given me a window to understanding both sides, the
right,
demand and the supply,
right.
building something that fixes both.
Hmm,
Having completed my POC for the last 8, 9 months,
right,
having built an infrastructure
right,
which allows for every milligram of tracking,
right.
having built an infrastructure
Hmm,
which addresses the concerns of the industry as well as the user.
hmm.
So that is a major barrier point which I feel that people will have to really invest their time understanding into it before they can build something like what we have built. Yes, copycats can do anything, you know, but to get this sensitivity is something that cannot be copied.
And I think your
It can
barrier
be
to entry could also be, so one thing that also see, that one more barrier to entry could also be the trust that you can build, and you will have a first mover advantage in creating the trust. And trust is what you have. That is it for the supply side. And
yes,
because of my basic understanding, which kind of is a generic understanding from the thing, is gold is majorly held by in families by the women of the house, right?
yes,
Is
right,
that right? So looking at that household, it is the influencer and the decision maker might be different. So the decision maker might be a husband taking a decision on the gold being put into uh, a locker or a MyGold kind of a solution, or and the influencer could be the wife in the family, right? Because she is holding it, and that is where it majorly belongs in the culture that we have. So
Very
being the first mover in this and building an app obviously is your barrier to entry, and looking at customer data firsthand, you might have more data at the end of the game than other people when they start kind of try to replicate you. Apart from that, knowing the first mover advantage of building trust is also something that also gives you that barrier to entry, because trust is the major thing. Otherwise, if I, for example, let's not gauge anything, but it is very difficult for me to think that whatever is the gold in the family, right, will be given off to a place where the use of that is for the business of the family, right?
very
Connection of the whole thing is a psychological approach to drive a family thinking into something which is going to be invested into in something which needs that cash, right? And whatever is the cash need is generally about business or something that they are doing on their own, or some business part of things. So the goal goes from the wife side to the husband side and then to the business side. So this circular psychology that you have to deal with, so that is something that you have a first mover advantage. Am I on the right plane when I explain it, that cycle, or am I not?
absolutely, Arjun. You are absolutely right. The moment you try to challenge that, that is where the conflict arises.
Right. And that flow of communication and motivation is where your communication needs to be for the supply side, I believe. Yeah.
Yes.
So from my side, I am very convinced. So overall, when I looked at your product, I was very convinced that okay, if there is gold in the place, we can always have insurance on it instead of putting it in a locker, which charges us 1 year of fees for maintaining the locker. People generally what they do is they have now started understanding if they want to put the gold into as an instrument for a overdraft in the account, which has been promoted online a lot. So overdraft, and then you don't have to pay for the locker. That's one thing that has seeped into the thinking. But if you can get a return and the value of that gold in kgs goes up, that is a very big sell,
Yes.
right? And you're getting an insurance on the whole. So you're getting an insurance
On the whole.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So, on your app, so you are not yet in the market, right? So you've not started
Yeah.
the app yet.
The app is already in the market, Arjun.
Okay.
We have not spent. So we have been very, so being bootstrapped, we
Right.
have been very frugal and understanding, right? We have
Right.
been very frugal in our spends. So we
Right.
have been not been spending like a new generation techie that I will just go and burn the cash. No, we have not even raised anything till now for a simple reason. We wanted to, whenever we go out to raise, we wanted the people to understand that the concept has been built on an understanding that is successful. We did not want to show, because see, most of the investors, sadly, most of the investors understand money. They
Right.
understand money as dollars and paper money.
Right.
What they don't understand is gold in weight. They are not able to understand that gold in weight is way more expensive. You
Hmm.
know, when I talk about 1 kg of gold today, I'm already talking to you about 1.5 crore rupees. If I have 14 kgs of gold with me today, I am already speaking about 20 crores that is of AUM that I'm already managing. But
Right.
sadly, the investors don't understand it. They want to see everything in terms of money. And the beauty of my ecosystem is that I run everything in gold weight.
Right.
And I'm proud about it, right?
Right. Right.
Just to make them understand I can attach value to it,
Hmm.
ecosystem will not.
Hmm.
Why? Because the moment I attach value to it, I become conflicting with RBI, SEBI, and all other compliances
Hmm.
where I don't need to follow. I am building an ecosystem which is legally compliant, which is totally working on a contract model, and
Right.
there is nothing to do with investments.
Right.
You try and understand. That is the beauty. I'm trying to make sure that I am making your gold, the ownership of which lies with you, to work better for you. That's it. And that is my ecosystem. That is what we have built.
So the ecosystem, one of the value chains is you told us that you align with the gold bourses and the associations also. So what is that association and how does it add value to you?
So, see, like IBJA, India Bullion and Jewelers Association, is the largest association of jewelers body, right? Jewelers and bullion body.
Right.
It was built on the advice of, it was created on the advice of financial institutions like RBI and everywhere. Now, all these financial institutions take AM/PM rate from IBJA itself,
Right.
right? So
Right.
it is a centric body on which a lot of financial bodies also depend on, and per se the whole industry looks up to. So
Right.
when a association like IBJA says that, we have seen the concept of, we have understood the concept of gold leasing, it is compliant, it is legally valid and doable. It gives a lot of confidence to the industry to take it up.
Right. Right.
So there are, as of today, Arjun, there are only two pillars on which the whole industry is working. Right. One is either it is simply cash model, where you get you take a credit from the bank, or you put your own cash and you do an upfront business of buying gold. Right. Second pillar was provided by the banks, which is a gold metal loan. Right. I'm talking about the demand side.
Correct.
So there were only two pillars on which the whole industry was functioning. We have very successfully added a third strategic pillar, which is gold leasing. So what it really does is it reduces the capital influx on on the industry. It provides for the gold supply, and as well it reduces the imports and has a huge economic impact on the rupee.
Hmm. And you are aligning. So when the government strategy currently, as you know, across the Eastern Hemisphere is majorly about making currencies based on gold and gold being bought in the markets across the world to get back the gold to India. Uh, in that alignment, how does your product also help in that whole gamut of things?
Arjun, like I said,
Yes.
the major reason why we built in MyGold
Right.
was to have a global impact, right?
Right.
And the big global impact comes from mobilization of India that is lying in Bharat.
Correct.
Right. So if you have 25,000 tons and I'm able to mobilize, say, 250 to 500 tons of that gold also,
Correct.
that is a 1 year supply,
Correct.
right? That is a 1 year supply of gold that you're looking outwards.
Right.
Think of the major impact that it can have on the current account deficit of India.
Correct. 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 And that is one thing that will flip the way we look at the economy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I've been running pillar to post. I've been running to the finance ministry. I've been running to RBI. I've been running to SEBI. I've been running to DA. I've been running to CA. I've written post to PM. I've been trying to highlight the importance of what we are doing. You see,
Right.
and this is where we need to make the change. This is where people need to understand
Right.
that what is doable and what is defensible, and it is something that we can build to impact Bharat's economy. If we need to become a
Everything that goes out
6 trillion,
so everything, sorry, to I'm getting excited. So understanding the whole situation, I'm getting enthusiastic about the question. So basically, looking at the gold and when you mobilize it, obviously it is not only going to the it's going trickling down to cascading into every kind of expense that the economy is able to do. Right. It starts from an industry having a demand. Then obviously there are a full ecosystem of industrial players who are the value chain providers to that industry. So it just spreads across. So it's basically making sure that current account deficits are helped in a big way. And that is where the game is going to, I think, if we can do a national approach of mobilizing this. So I think your product sits in the center of it, correct?
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah. So, would love to see some feedbacks of what are the kind of feedbacks that the customers are giving you from the supply side, because supply side is your challenge. I understand that demand side is always not a big challenge in your industry. Supply side will be in India a challenge, right? We are not, we don't trust people about gold too much. So, so give me some feedbacks of successful supply side if you've already got some supply side sorted.
Yes, Arjun, then like I told you, like I started off with giving an example of one of the guys who came up to us and gave me, 40, 50 grams initially. And then he came back and invested in gold, which was around 150 grams that was still lying in his locker. And he came and said, "ये आपको नहीं दिया था, आप ही रखो ये भी." And now I understand that this will work for me, for my benefit.
Right.
Similarly, we have so many people who have, taken the lead, and there are working people, right? There are women who have just got married about 5 months back,
Right.
and they have come and said, "Sir, I understand the need. I don't need this gold. I will never wear it. It was a marriage. We had to take this gold. Please melt it and put it in my growth account so that I can start earning from my gold." So we have more than 30 to 40 such youngsters who have melted 20 to 50 grams of their gold that they were holding. They were just kept in lockers. And,
Right.
and the beauty of this is that they're mostly women,
Right.
right?
Right.
Most women have come up and said, Ki Amolya, this was lying in our lockers. I think this is a great idea. Please keep it. And, whenever I need it, I can. There have been people, Arjun, who have taken 1 gram, 2 grams coin just to check the ecosystem. Can I get the delivery back home? There's been a person in Bangalore who has already invested through digital medium, through digital gold, and asked for his gold back to be delivered in Bangalore twice. And we have successfully did it in 2 days.
So what
So
kind of
there
delivery
are
is there? What
scenarios.
is the form of that gold that gets delivered back?
So this is 24 carat,
Right.
4 nines MMTC coins,
Right. Right.
right?
So
So
you
they are
give them back in that format.
packed coins.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you give that in that
So
format.
those coins were delivered to them at their doorstep.
Right. And there must be a making charge to whatever they have got in their gold. So what happens to the making charge of what they were paying for getting the gold? So in their buying of it, obviously you know that there is a bangle or there is some jewelry that has been given to you, right?
Arjun,
Uh,
so
hmm,
what stand is,
hmm,
there is a small, I would say, in the system where people, the influencers have put this in your head
hmm.
that, you are charged this much uh, 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 in making charge or whatever wastage, and that is why you should not buy gold. But you need to understand that portion is so small that with the rise of prices at 15% CAGR, 20%
Correct.
CAGR, it's
Correct.
already taken care of in 1 year,
Right.
right?
Right. Right.
So if you have to wear, suppose if you are buying a digital coin or you're buying a MMTC 10 grams coin,
Right.
you're spending almost 2.5 to 3% on the making charges,
Right.
which is hardly anything. Which is hardly anything.
Right.
It gives you the confidence. It gives you the confidence that what I'm owning is the right piece of,
Hmm.
right? You cannot be cheated on that. So that is why
Hmm.
we have established a system where they can only ask for their gold back in a standard form. It might be in 4 nines or 995, but it has to be a 24 carat ecosystem where they ask for their gold back, and it is unquestionably a said. So
Right.
when they get it back in their hand,
Hmm.
they know I have got the best gold in my hands.
Right. Right. So
That is the idea.
right.
Right?
And that is
Good for you.
yes. Yes.
So the whole ecosystem is a 24 carat ecosystem that we have built. There cannot be a question of mistrust in the system. I could not allow any question of mistrust to come into the system. So every point, as I said, 30 years of my experience has allowed me to understand the simple mechanics of where the customer gets irritated,
Right.
right? And we have done everything to keep it very smooth, to
Mm.
keep the journey of the customer very smooth,
Right.
unquestionably, uh, you know, error free.
Mm.
He cannot, he should not be given a situation where he can, question the quality of the good.
And on top of it, you're giving a weight increase of the gold every year.
Yes,
So the
absolutely.
thing that obviously adds value to whatever you've lost in that small percentage of making charges or whatever the basic thinking of people is that, okay, out of the gold, this was the making charge. I lost that, but I got this, right? So the incremental difference is, as per you, a large difference, right?
Yes. Yes.
Right. So would love to see your app also as a demo. Would love to see if how it works and how it goes through. So would request you to, if you have a video of user experience, right, of your app, would love to take that user experience and put it on the video itself as well, so that people can also see how a user goes from point A to the last mile to complete the transaction on your platform, right?
Sure.
Yeah, so the main thing that we as a UX, if you so see, is the ease of a person just using an app and moving towards a point where the conversion happens for him on that day, right? So that whole process of a customer journey would be an amazing customer journey video we would love to see. Uh,
Sure. I'll share it with Rishikesh.
yeah.
I'll ask my team to share it, and I'll share it to Rishikesh. And it will be something I'd be very thankful for, why not?
Amazing. Amazing, sir. Amazing. So it was a pleasure. I think yours is a very simple product. It is very to the point product. If you have gold, why keep it in your house when you can monetize it, mobilize it, and actually add value to the whole ecosystem and also be a part of the movement that is the mega trend of India, to create mobilization and help in the economy while you are getting more returns from your gold, right? Most of the database also in my mind also, and whatever the basic thinking of gold is that gold is always sitting idle in somebody's locker. You have never looked at it. There are only one or two jewelry items that you take out for ceremonies. Apart from that, there is nothing else that is used. It is always in a box. You keep on being happy about their assets value going up. Why not make the value go even more higher through an association with with an app which is MyGold? And you could obviously, at the end of 1 year, you will know the value of how gold becomes from X to whatever value you were seeing in terms of the value of the gold itself. It also increases in the value in terms of the volume of gold that you have. So that is where
Yes.
also it makes a very big impact in your asset. And what you lose in making charges is covered up by my gold giving you insurances to secure everything that you have. And the growth is also insured, so you know that whatever growth happens in your gold value and volume is also insured by the app called My Gold. And his legacy of Saraf Jewelers, I believe, has also added a lot of learnings of customer legacy, where he understands what uh, the consumer legacy would be, looking at his and how they deal with gold and what are the nuances of what are your pain points. He's able to understand them better than anyone else. So building a new age product from a legacy business is one journey that I'm really happy to see in this podcast. So happy to have you, Bansalji. It was a pleasure having you on the podcast, and we'll inform you once this is live.
Thank you, Arjun. Thank you for the opportunity. Great.
It was a pleasure, sir.
Very much. Thank,
Thank you.
thank you so much.
Cheers.
Bye. Thanks.
You've been listening to ImpactX Studio podcasts. Amol Bansal's work shows how deep industry understanding can unlock hidden value in familiar systems. By making household gold productive while keeping ownership, security, and transparency intact, MyGold is reshaping how gold works for families and for the economy. With real asset improvement and not only value improvement, this product is differentiated in the market. If this conversation resonated with you, subscribe on Spotify and YouTube, share it with your network, and stay tuned for more conversations with founders building real-world impact. Until next time, keep building with purpose.